This is Live Music Showcase here on 88.5 WMNF Tampa. I'm your host, Ken Apperson. We are here in studio with Zanzi Bean. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to have you in here. I've seen you playing around town quite a bit. You played Rock the Park not too long ago.
Yes.
You're making moves in the Tampa music scene. We always like to see new musicians, new to us at least, musicians doing their thing around town. I mean, there's a lot going on today. It's Pride Month. Yesterday was Juneteenth. There's a lot to celebrate. There's a lot of work yet to be done, and I think we'll get into a little bit of all of that in today's episode. But first and foremost, and the top priority, the music. What's your first song called?
Yes, this first song is a song I recently released called "Hat to the Side," and it's kind of my anti-song. Anti-what is the question, but just anti. Anti-establishment, maybe anti-everything that is in player. Here we go. Look.
Couple of us in a Honda Civic, we our own worst critics. Hat to the side, don't keep no toolie on me. Won't ever catch me with no groupie on me, that ain't player. Not too much, keep it cute, girl, get out my hair. Essential oils and things, they run as deep, they not for keeps. I'm seeing through my slit of eyes, I'm seeing through the Twitter lies. It's a couple manifestos I can't get behind. I touch the surface, but never dared to scale the iceberg of the deep web. Better learn to swim, the jaws of sin will drown you in the deep end. Damn. First I met some fellas who push game but talk nada. Then I met some fellas who do it the other way around. And what I found is I'll push game and talk proper, cause when I get on, ain't no way in hell I'm piping down. Hey Zanzi Beanie, what you writing now? Just words, a word? Yeah, say the word and you can find it out. I usually see you with a pad, you hate to type it out. Yeah, it's a different type of sight and sound. Hat to the side, don't keep no toolie on me. Won't ever catch me with no groupie on me, that ain't player. Not too much, keep it cute, girl, get out my hair. Essential oils and things, they run as deep. Hat to the side, don't keep no toolie on me. Won't ever catch me with no groupie on me, that ain't player. Not too much, keep it cute, boy, get out my hair. Essential oils and things. No, I'm a star, I'm seeing stars, I'm lightheaded cause I haven't eaten. Please don't ask, don't even have a reason. My gut feeling taught me different than the pastor's preachings. My past allegiance to their teachers show me they not really after Jesus. So I'ma hold on to my dollar when that basket reaches. Man, I ain't tricking for no church boy, cause that ain't player, and that ain't fair. I don't really think they care. Hat to the side, locks to my ears. God the only crux of my fears, cause clearly freedom is the luxury here. Seems like life could be the deepest of hell, but still the greatest affair. I see you fell for the trap, you gotta pay for your prayer. Rather you sell me some crack, rather you buy me a pair of the new Balenciagas plus the Hellier, the mill all black. Let up my candle cause I always keep it real on wax. Asked the Reverend how he feel about that. Said I'm a sinner once he seen my hat to the side. Don't keep no toolie on me. Won't ever catch me with no groupie on me, that ain't player. Not too much, keep it cute, get out my hair. Essential oils and things, they run as deep. Hat to the side, don't keep no toolie on me. Won't ever catch me with no groupie on me, that ain't player. Not too much, keep it cute, get out my hair. Essential oils and things, they run as deep. Hat to the side, don't keep no toolie on me. Won't ever catch me with no groupie on me, that ain't play. Not too much, keep it cute, get out my hair. Essential oils and things, they run as deep. Hat to the side, don't keep no toolie on me. Won't ever catch me with no groupie on me, that ain't play. Not too much, keep it cute, boy, get out my hair. Essential oils and things, they run as deep.
Zanzi Bean here on Live Music Showcase. That's a smooth vibe you got there.
Thank you.
Really smooth. I like it. This is exactly the reason why I wanted to bring you on the show, because anyone who listens to the show knows that I'm a big music nerd in general. And one of the things that is always really entertaining to me personally is when a musician is multifaceted. And so you get a lot of like singer, songwriter, performers, they can sing and they can play guitar, they can sing, they can play piano, whatever. Little known fact, when the human brain starts to multitask, you lose IQ points.
Really?
Yeah, technically speaking, because our brains are not good. They're not multitasking processors. They're not great at it. And music is a great kind of thumb in the eye of that concept. All of that to say, your piano playing skills, and by the way, he's playing a beautiful baby grand piano that we have here in the studio. If you want to watch it, you can watch the live stream on Facebook or YouTube. On Facebook, WMNF's Live Music Showcase. On YouTube, WMNF Community Radio. Your lyrics are so cerebral and fast and complex. They're dense. And to do that, to perform that kind of lyric structure while also playing complex things on the piano, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that especially because I feel like I consider myself a writer first and foremost. I'm a musician for sure, but the reason I make music is for the message. I always say I feel like the music is just like the carrier, the vessel for the message. And I'm blessed that, my parents like forced me to play piano. We're like real son of an immigrant type, But yeah, I don't know. It's just a vessel for the lyrics. So I do feel like it's hard a lot of times, but I don't know. For me, I think it kind of comes hand in hand with each other a little bit.
I like that. It's a vessel for the lyrics. I've heard that put a dozen different ways, but I haven't heard it put as a vessel for the lyrics. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Okay, let's jump into your next one.
Right.
What's your next one called?
Let's. This next one actually is a song I'm about to release called Beanie Baby. Coincidentally, this is Pride Month, right? This is a song about my experience being queer and Caribbean. If you're not familiar, Caribbean culture isn't too friendly to queer people. There's a lot of homophobia.
Okay.
My dad's Jamaican, especially in Jamaica, that's the case. So this song is called Beanie Baby.
I love it. Let's talk more about that after this song.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
One thing Beanie can understand, just one thing Beanie can understand. Come and say some of them a talk about me couture fashion, while some of them a talk about me high fashion. That ragamuffin wear a skirt and woman bottom. He a chichi man for sure, but he took my beloved. Oi, oi, he a beanie, batty boy, a beanie baby, batty boy. He a beanie, batty boy. Them said a island or breeze where my ancestor from. Yeah, fruit so sweet, resting lie on your tongue. But if one thing I see, ever since I was young, the way them off a treat, batty man be so wrong. Oi, oi, to be a beanie, batty boy, a beanie baby, batty boy, a real Caribbean, batty boy. Them said a bad man so bad, and a batty boy sweet. Them said a batty man sweet. Them said a bad man so bad, and a batty boy sweet. Cause Adam said a batty man sweet. Them said a bad man so bad, and a batty boy sweet. But batty boy bad man run wild in the streets. When it comes to the style, no man can compete. No care mask or femme, major one dressed like me. Oi, oi, to be a beanie, batty boy, a beanie baby, batty boy, a real Caribbean, batty boy. Say me flirt with a girl, my eye on a guy. It's a vibe on a vibe. Me flirt with a girl, my eye on a guy. It's a vibe on a vibe. Me flirt with a girl, my eye on a guy. It's a vibe on a vibe. Me flirt with a girl, my eye on a guy. Say me flirt with a girl, my eye on a guy. If they feel each other cute, it's vibe on a vibe. They want talk, but don't got much to say. Now they don't got much to say. They want talk, but don't got much to say. Man, why they never got much to say? They want talk, but don't got much to say. Man, why they never got much to say? They want talk, but don't got much to say. But it's just one thing Beanie can understand. Just one thing Beanie can understand. Come one thing Beanie can understand. Just one thing Beanie can understand. Me say one thing Beanie can understand. Just one thing Beanie can understand.
Zanzi Bean here on Live Music Showcase. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing the Caribbean patois, as they say.
Yeah.
So you grew up in the Caribbean.
No, so both my parents are Caribbean.
Your parents are Caribbean.
Yes, both
okay.
my parents. I'm first generation American.
Ah, okay.
I would consider both St. Thomas and Jamaica my homes for sure. In fact, like the first time I remember going back to both of those places, it felt like a home I've never seen before or felt. And yeah, so I would consider home, but I'm not from there specifically.
Yeah. But your parents are, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. My dad's Jamaican. My mom's from St. Thomas, USVI, fully Caribbean. Yeah.
Nice. Wow. So when, growing up in a household with those two as parents, you grew up around the culture and the accent in a kind of a removed sense, like it was in the house, but then you left the house and it was.
Right. I think it was super interesting too, because, and this is something me and my brother have talked about, is my dad, I feel like maybe assimilated a little faster or earlier in life. His English accent is like pretty, you wouldn't be able to tell he wasn't born in the States. And my mom has a slight accent to it. But it's so crazy, like when we're around family, though, how fast they can slip back into it. So yeah, it's a little bit of a duality just being in the house versus, out in the streets. And I hear it sometimes in my language too. Like when I was a kid, I used to say duh instead of the, just because, that's what I grew up hearing. So,
yeah. So, and to your point about like, that song and how that the Caribbean is not as welcoming to gay and lesbian people,
right,
or anyone LGBTQ in general. So what's your experience with that?
Yeah, I would say, to be honest, I'm blessed in the sense that both of my parents have been pretty accepting.
That's
I've
great.
also been blessed that I never really came out. I think, honestly, my dad hearing that song might have been how I came out.
Oh, are you coming out right now?
I mean, no.
I'm kidding.
A while ago, when I first performed that song, might have been the first time both my parents have ever heard me say like, hey, I'm queer.
Ah, okay.
I just never felt the need to, because I knew they would accept me. But it's also just a pretty known fact, especially in Jamaica, that homophobia, it's just not something. If I was to go to Jamaica right now, I would definitely have to, kind of maybe change myself a little bit just to not be so maybe visibly queer if I am visibly queer. Yeah, and that's just the reality, unfortunately. But I wanted to make a song that was joyful about it, not like a depressive song like Woe Is Me. And especially the album version is a reggae song, and it's it's danceable, it's vibable, and it's like more of a defiant song. Like we're still here, we're still dance and sing, because not in spite of it, but because of our queerness.
It has kind of a I'm rubber and you're glue kind of a feeling to it, like they can say what they want, they can throw whatever they want at you, and it'll just bounce off the smile.
Yeah. Does glue not stick to rubber?
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
Yeah, okay,
I'm rubber and you're glue. I don't know how that works.
I like that though.
There are a lot of older sayings that these days we're deconstructing and going, wait a minute.
Yeah. Right.
That doesn't make a lot of sense. So, what's your experience in the LGBTQ community in Tampa?
That's an interesting question.
Because it can be a tumultuous thing, it seems like, right now.
Yeah, I would say, and it's almost of a, not a culture shock, but I moved here from Orlando, which is notoriously a very gay and queer city.
Mm-hmm.
I like to maybe not to divide the community, but I feel like I differentiate being gay and being queer a little bit. And I feel like in Tampa, there's a lot of gay people, but maybe less queer culture, if that makes sense. Queer culture to me is more inclusive of all types of people.
Sure.
You know, you're going to go to a queer event and not just see gay men, but you're going to see trans people, non-binary people, people of all different backgrounds. And that's something that I feel like Tampa lacks a little bit. I think we have some sort of gay community. And if you were to go across the bridge to St. Pete, maybe you see more of that queer community that we're talking about. But that's something that I strive to honestly build in Tampa, and strive to show people just by existing, honestly, that, you know, I kind of feel a responsibility to be that example because I don't see it a little bit.
Interesting. I like that. I mean, that's the hard job, right? I mean, it's one thing to exist. It's another thing to exist in a spotlight. And then it's another thing entirely to exist in a spotlight where you're kind of calling out to everyone, and not everyone may be receptive to you.
Yeah.
And ideally, you would change some minds, you know, that can maybe open their minds a little bit, broaden their horizons a little bit, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you know, that's an important job. I'd say that's a very important job. I mean, Pride Month is great, but it's like flowers on Valentine's Day. If you're only giving flowers on Valentine's Day, you might have a bit of a problem.
That was a great analogy, actually.
Thank you. Feel free to use it, by all means.
I will.
Stick it in a song. Stick it in a song. 10% writing credit. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
You can have it. Keep it. But no, like that's the thing. And I can say as a cisgendered straight man, the work from my perspective is to not shut down.
Right.
And to not think I know it all, think I have the answers figured out. I grew up in a community, in an environment where it seemed like everyone was taking a victory lap for equality and for civil rights and for, you know, the gay community, especially like in the late 90s. You know, from my cisgender straight perspective, and the people like me around me were like, oh yeah, everyone's welcome. But then you come to find out upon, you know, again, deconstructing, a step was taken in the right direction, but there's a whole staircase left to climb.
For sure. Yeah, I think, there's something to be said for that. I think it's also different what's portrayed versus the reality. I think the general consensus among most Americans who might say, you know, we accept all types of people, but when you get, I don't know, there's still times I feel uncomfortable wearing certain things in certain spaces, and I feel like that's a reality that maybe isn't portrayed as much.
Sure.
You know, I'm very conscious of where I wear that skirt, where I wear that, you know,
sure.
the crop top at.
Yeah.
So I feel like until I can feel comfortable walking into any space like that, feel comfortable, I don't know, being who I am, I feel like I can't really say we've achieved freedom. We've climbed that staircase.
Yeah. I mean, until that fear is unfounded.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, all right, let's jump into some more music.
Yes.
Does that sound good?
That does sound good.
What's your next song called? What's it about?
This song is called A Bug's Life. It's another kind of my strife with the world. If I had to list my grievances, this song is talking about how I'd rather be a bug because humanity kind of sucks sometimes. So here we go.
I wish that I was a bug, just a silly little creature down below. And what if I was a bug? Now would that really even be so bad at all? That bad at all? You see, these humans only care for gold and sex, and they hate getting old. But death to me is neither friend or foe. I love the life of a bug. I love those silly little creatures down below, because if I was a bug, I know exactly what I was created for. See, I'd eat green leaves for my dinner time and brown ones for dessert. And I never have to contemplate my life or what I'm worth. Every night I sleep so tight, my only blanket is the dirt. And I never think to frack and drill, cause I love Mother Earth. That's why I envy the bugs. I'm jealous of those little creatures down below. Down below, cause when I think about bugs, I feel like they're the perfect species to behold. To behold. See, we could learn a thing or two about humility and grace. And plus, I never seen a bug hate on a human for his race. That's why I pity the bugs. I'm sad for all those little creatures down below. Down below, sometimes I feel like a bug. Because this world just sees me as a stepping stone. A stepping stone. See, all I do is mind my business, I just go about my way. But that boot over my head could put an end to all my days. And if that boot decides to follow me, I can't even complain. Cause to you I'm just a bug, and my life never meant a thing. But let me tell you about bugs. It's something about those little creatures down below. Down below, cause when you step on a bug, another bug comes creeping up from out the folds. Don't you know that you could step on every bug you see, but you can't kill them all. And if us bugs all got together, we could eat these humans raw. But I know I'm just a bug, and so I'd never think to try. And if I ever was a human, I'd just let me walk on by. That's probably why I'm a bug. I'm just a silly little creature down below. Down below, cause if I wasn't a bug, I wouldn't even know what I was created for. Created for. I'd probably steal from my neighbor, cause his grass more green than mine. And if we talking grass, I'd need a pack at night to ease my mind. So I thank God I'm just a bug. Ain't got no reason for to cry. Until a silly little human won't let me just walk on by.
Zanzibean here on Live Music Showcase. You got me all flustered. That was a good song. That's a good song. It almost has a little ragtime feel to it.
Yeah. With the band too. Oh, and I would love to come back with the band, but it definitely has that bluesy. You know, the drummer kicks in right on that downbeat. The bass is grooving. So yeah, it's a bop, but it's like if you listen to the lyrics, I'm definitely I'm saying. I'm listing my grievances for sure.
There's a little melancholy in there, yeah. But again, like just like the previous song, with a kind of an upbeat tempo to it. Right. So is that something you really like to do? You like to take the darker, sadder themes and give them more of a bright vessel, as we say?
And I would say vice versa too. I like to do both. I like to take a happy feel or a happy lyrics and kind of make it melancholy, and then take maybe more like real hard-hitting lyrics and find just a light way to say them. I feel like that's the power in music. That's the revolutionary side of music is, when I think about people like Bob Marley, he made revolutionary music that changed the way people thought about society and government. And you can put it on at a party, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't even know unless you tuned in. Like, he's talking about,
Truly the most amazing thing.
Yeah, it's powerful. So,
I mean, I say this on this show probably way too much, but my opinion, is music is one of the last great forms of magic in the world, real forms of magic in the world, because it still has power, it has weight, it inspires, it drives thought into action, which is amazing, truly amazing. So, before I continue, it's 2:30. We're at the halfway point of the show. This is the AMA. This is the Ask Musicians Anything segment, where you, the listener or the viewer, if you're watching the live stream, can call into the studio right now with any questions or comments you might have for Zanzibean. 813-239-9663 is the number. Again, it's 813-239-9663, country code 1. If you're one of our international viewers or listeners, feel free to call in. Our board op, Charlie, will take your calls. He'll take your questions and comments. He'll send them over to me, and then I'll share them with our guest here. One other thing that's going on today that is not the typical thing that we have going on, which is pretty cool, actually. We're doing a ticket giveaway today. We're doing 2 ticket giveaways today. I'm kind of springing these on you right now. But the tickets are for Queen of Coins on Saturday, June 21st, so tomorrow, at Crowbar. We have 2 pairs available, so we're going to do 2 giveaways, okay? One of those ticket giveaways is happening right now. Call in right now with the first caller that calls in right now, 813-239-9663, will win the first pair of tickets. Charlie will take your name, he will take your phone number, and he will take your email, and the tickets will be available at will call. So again, it's 2 pairs of tickets, 1 pair of tickets right now. We'll do the other pair of tickets at the end of the show. So keep listening, stick around. I don't know if you know this, but Crowbar is a spectacular venue, and it's going away soon, unfortunately. It's very sad that it's going away, but get your kicks in at Crowbar now while you can, that's for sure. 813-239-9663. Okay, so real quick, we will dive into one other thing that I wanted to chat about, and that is music theory in particular.
Yes.
Piano players often have a background in music theory. They often have at least some degree of music theory. Very few are just self-taught or by ear or whatever. Yeah. Do you have a little bit of training under your belt?
For sure, yeah. I think a piano, too, is one of the most, technical instruments in that sense, too. Yeah, so my parents had us, both me and my brother, in piano lessons from, when we could play piano. I will say I feel like I'm not as good as I should be.
Oh,
I took a break in, my most formative years and then came back to it later. But, yeah, I was doing, music theory competitions and stuff. It was, it was kind of school, but for music.
What's a music theory competition?
Yeah, so we'd go to colleges would host these competitions, and it's not just music theory. It's kind of all around piano, right? So there'd be a performance aspect to it, and then you take a test, and then I forgot the third component to it, but there's 3 components: performance, testing, then the test is on music theory, and you basically get rated. So you can get good, superior, excellent, kind of if you're familiar with high school MPA maybe, or All-State or something like that.
Gotcha.
But as a young kid I was doing this, so I think I had a great foundation in actually understanding music theory just from really being taught by a teacher and entering these competitions.
Well, so how old were you when you started? Do you know? Can you remember?
I want to say 6
years old.
6,
okay.
Yeah.
That's a common age because you're starting to get reading and comprehension skills and that kind of stuff. So you've been playing music essentially your entire developed life.
Yeah.
Since your brain has been, able to do it. Do you think, or rather, how different of a person would you be if you didn't have that?
If I didn't have music?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's such a hard question, but also an easy question. I would be not even myself. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to even define myself outside of music, which may be a fault in my character. I don't even know who my character is without this thing, but maybe everyone could say that. There's something integral to everyone's character that makes them who they are, whether if it's something that they're good at or a character trait about themselves. But I think music, especially because I'm able to show my character through my music, and maybe it's the only place I can really do it so articulately. I always say I could stand on Ybor City and be yelling everything I say in my songs on the corner, and people would just pass me. But I feel like music gives me a pedestal. It's my what's it called?
Soapbox.
Yeah, it's my soapbox. My pulpit or whatever. Yeah.
Pulpit. Interesting. Okay. There's a religious element.
Yeah,
in there. Okay. All right. Yeah. So your identity is kind of wrapped up in music. Would you say that? Yeah.
Or my music allows me to. Yeah, maybe. I feel like the music allows me to show my identity.
Maybe both. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, both in a sense.
I see what you're saying. So what you're saying is In the same way that, like, going back to the vessel analogy, the lyrics of the vessel. I mean, the music is the vessel for the music. Right. The music is the vessel for your identity.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it also definitely works vice versa, though, like you said, because I genuinely don't know who I would be without music. It's a big part of my character.
Yeah.
It's a big part of my daily life. Like, I don't know what I would do on a day-to-day basis if I wasn't making music every day. Like, I'd be bored, I guess. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, what do? You fill your days with what? What else? What would you, put it this way, what would you do?
What would I do if I had a week of let's take a day.
Let's say a year.
A year of no music.
What if you had a year of no music?
I can't. I don't know.
It's like a vow of silence for a monk, right?
I would maybe find another artistic. I'm an artist generally. I would find another avenue to express myself, but man, I would miss it. I would be thinking about it all the time.
Yeah.
I skate as well. That's it's more of a hobby, but I do love to skate. I would probably find time for the things that are fun that I do, but aren't necessarily passions of mine.
Okay. So. All right. Well, I mean, that's what you do. Yes, that's what you have to do. You do what you have to do in those kinds of situations. All right. Let's jump into the next. Looks like we have a winner for the ticket giveaway. Let's see. Yeah, David. Congrats, David. Thanks for calling in. Congratulations. We'll make sure that your info gets passed on to Crowbar, and the tickets will be at will call. So we'll be giving away the next set of tickets at the end of the show. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. Got a bunch of stuff coming up. All right, let's dive into the next song. Can we do that?
Yes.
What's the next one called?
The song is called Not For Keeps. Kind of going along the lines of, a happy song, but make it feel sad. The song is about being polyamorous, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, again, another identity song.
Oh, man. Okay, well, we have to talk about that.
Yeah,
we have to.
We'll
if you're okay with it, yeah.
Of course, open book.
Well, I just wanna be your lover, wanna be your peace. I've been hiding under covers, ain't never get no sleep. Guess you went and found another who sets your spirit free. As long as I could get to love you, baby, that's alright with me. Now some might say that I'm a sucker, some say that I'm a freak. As long as I could get to love you, I don't care on what they speak, cause I just wanna be your lover, wanna be your peace. I've been hiding under covers, ain't get no sleep. If there ever was another who sets your spirit free, as long as I could get to love you, know your love is not for keeps. No, your love is not for keeps. Those other dudes you messing with, they lying, steal, and cheat. I let you call me by my government and see the real me. But if these other dudes you messing with could pull you to the streets, as long as I could get some loving it, baby, that's alright with me. Now I ain't never been no sucker man, ain't never been no dweeb, but when I talk you got me stuttering, my heart just skips a beat. But if these other dudes you messing with could pull you to the streets, as long as I could get to love you, as long as I could kiss and hug you, cause I just wanna be your lover, wanna be your peace. I've been hiding under covers, ain't get no sleep. If there ever was another who sets your spirit free, as long as I could get to love you, baby, that's alright with me. I thought you was my lover, I thought you was my peace. I was hiding under covers, ain't never get no sleep. Guess you went and found another who sets your spirit free. And now I never get to love you, and baby, that's not right with me. And for the rest of your life, live with that lie, cause you said ride or die. You're not here by my side for the rest of your life. Live with that lie, cause you said ride or die. Oh, I thought you was my lover, thought you was my peace. I was hiding under covers, ain't never get no sleep. Guess you went and found another who sets your spirit free. Now I never get to love you, and baby, that's not right with me.
I think I like the melancholy stuff too.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's very relatable. It's very relatable, especially if it's a song about polyamory, which
Right.
is less relatable to the, the standard, traditional folks out there. But I think that, okay, first of all, you're probably one of the most interesting people we've had on the show in terms of just your life experience. You've had so much life experience. And how old are you?
24.
You're 24
Just
and you've had so
24.
much life experience already. That's insane. It's incredible. All right. I want to chat more real quick. First, I got to address something very quick. Okay, so I had a little miscommunication with our board op, and that's my fault. Both sets of tickets did already go in a giveaway. Melissa is our other winner. Melissa, congratulations. Thanks. So we won't be doing another ticket giveaway at the end of the show. We already gave away 2 pairs. So we are all square on all of that. But please keep listening because obviously the vibes are the vibes. They're awesome. They're excellent. Polyamory.
Yes.
It feels complicated to me.
It's not.
It's
really
not, okay.
I feel like being polyamorous is one of the most misunderstood. Like,
Sure.
It's really. Are you in a relationship by any chance?
I actually just got engaged last week
First of all, congratulations.
with the mother of my child.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
We did it
3 times.
backwards, but yeah.
There's no correct order.
Yeah, that's true.
But simply imagine having another partner. Like, I don't know.
See,
like,
but so
it's
I
just-
hear that, and my brain goes, that's another person whose emotions I have to, not necessarily manage, but like take account and in my decision making and
Yeah.
and in my experience, one person is plenty complicated.
Yeah.
So to add another person to that sounds almost kind of exhausting. But
Right.
that's not
yeah.
not your experience.
That's
Tell
just
me
not-
about your experience.
Maybe not the way I view it either. I think I view, and maybe this is kind of a problem that I run into a lot, is where I conflate platonic and romantic feelings sometimes.
Ooh, yeah,
But,
that can get you in trouble.
It can get me in
Yeah.
trouble. But I view, like you wouldn't ever be like, oh, I could only have one friend. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You accumulate friends based on, how much you connect with this person. And just because you have 7 friends doesn't mean you don't want, and I'm never looking for, just a connection that isn't there. But if a connection is there, I feel like I'm open to receiving it. And I view relationships the same way I view friendships because I feel like friendships are the highest form of love, honestly, the highest form of romance because it's not familial bonds and it's not, a relationship in that sense. You purely love this person just because you love them directly. And that's how I view my relationships as well. And I don't know. I feel like I just can never deny a natural connection. Just like I would never deny a friend just because, I have this many friends. If someone comes along and they're a great person and I feel like we would mesh well.
I mean, I think that's really interesting just because the distinction between like platonic relationship and romantic relationship, it sounds like those are more fluid for you than they
Very
are like
much so.
distinct lines.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. My partners are my best friends for sure.
Yeah.
And my best friends who I'm not romantically, involved with, I view in some sort of romantic lens. Like,
Yeah.
going on friend dates is important to me,
Oh, okay.
And again, it's nothing, none of my just platonic friends ever cross that boundary, but
Yeah.
it has a romantic feel to it because we romanticize our relationship and I romanticize my life a little bit too.
Well,
and-
how do you do that? What do you mean?
I just view, I don't know, especially my connections with people, I view in a very loving sense, I don't know. It's in small things, the way, I hug. I'm a big hugger. I hug, especially with men. Men be like big dappers and handshakers.
Yeah.
I hug all my guy friends, tell all my guy friends, I love you. Every time we hang out, love you, dude. And it's small things like that that may not seem like a big deal, but like I feel like those are the things that kind of adds a romance in your life. And maybe I would implore the audience listening to deconstruct the idea of romance as purely with a romantic partner, because romance is so much bigger than that, I feel like.
So then you seem like you're a very open person.
Very much
just kind
so.
of like in a general sense, but does that mean that you get hurt more frequently?
No.
Okay.
And honestly, since I've been polyamorous for 2 years now, and I've established the best relationships in my life since being polyamorous. All my relationships, both friend and relationship wise, have been very healthy. I've been hurt for sure, but I wouldn't say any more so than when I was in a monogamous relationships. I think hurt is a part of love, unfortunately, as much as the dark is a part of the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wouldn't say any more or less. I think it's a part of how the game goes, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I mean that's it right there. So then, what's the longest relationship polyamorous relationship you've had with an individual? We're digging in now. I'm curious. I'm here. Yeah.
I was with my well, that's a hard question. Not previous partner. I was with someone for maybe almost a year.
Okay.
Which is maybe not a crazy amount of time to be. That's not a very long amount of time.
It's subjective. Sure.
But yeah. But it was a great relationship, and that's more what I focus on. And all the times I've broken up with people hasn't been because we wanted to, honestly. It's just been life. Life has gotten in the way of things.
Circumstance.
So yeah, I don't think the longevity is affected by the polyamory, if maybe that was the direction of the question. I think I think more so, it's just subjective between people. And everyone who, even amongst people who are polyamorous, it's different. Just like relationships are different across the board. People have different boundaries with themselves and their partners in polyamorous and monogamous relationships.
Sure. Well, that's it, right? Everybody kind of has their own personal boundaries, and you learn them and you respect them.
Very much.
And the only way to learn them is communicating at the end of the day. Do you find you're a better communicator? Yeah. You seem like it. You seem very open and just kind of like, this is me, this is my life.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
I wear my feelings on my sleeves for sure. And I wear my thoughts on my sleeves too. I'm very opinionated, and and honestly, a pet peeve of mine is when someone is not opinionated.
Okay.
I think people should have opinions about things. Not to say that you should care about like everything in the world, but if presented with a set of facts, you should be able to form an opinion about something. And communicate it.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that maybe my parents instilled in me. Maybe over the years I've developed my emotional intelligence to be so, but I feel like I'm pretty in tune with how I feel about things when presented with them. And more importantly, I can communicate them with that person without feeling weird about it. And I think that's important, especially in relationships, especially if it's something that didn't make you feel right, being able to be like, that didn't make me feel right, and here's why.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then you'll go and write a song about it.
Yeah.
In typical musician form. Yeah.
Per my performance just now. Yeah.
That's what you got to do. That's what we do as musicians. That's our therapy, you know, so to speak. I mean, therapy's not a bad idea either, but in addition to.
This is better.
Yeah, this is better for sure. All right, so speaking of, let's dive into another song. What do you got?
I have a song, Pool Water. I wrote this song, so long ago now. I wrote this song when I used to teach kids how to swim, actually.
Cause the pool water steady shimmering, I know you gone for that swim again. Chlorine steady sinking in on my skin, I know you gone for that swim again. Sunshine make the water blush, it's glimmering, I know you gone for that swim again. At least I hope so. It's about time, get your goggles cause I found mine. I ain't playing around with our time, cause it's too short. but the pool water is steady shimmering. I know you gone for that swim again.
I let the water talk to me, though I learned not to listen. I tried to tune in with my ears, but it led to infection, which led to misguided confusion. I was missing the message. On top of that, skin cracked, chlorine bleached my complexion. You see, the water doesn't talk at all. Every ripple is an atom, every atom is Niagara Falls. And to this day, I don't know what to call it, but there's a reason voices muffle when somebody's calling. Underwater, you can never really hear 'em proper. Seeing doctors, cause my ear wants to ache and ring. Only hearing out my left, it made me hate to sing. I had to understand the water doesn't say a thing. I learned my lesson cause the message is the way it moves. It's a dance through the currents, better find your groove. It took a second till I get it, but now I'm in tune. Now in these currents currently, the artist finds a muse.
In these pool waters, it's steady shimmering. I know you gone for that swim again. Chlorine is steady sinking in on my skin. I know you gone for that swim again. Sunshine make the water blush, it's glimmering. I know you gone for that swim again. At least I hope so. It's about time. Get your goggles, cause I found mine. I ain't playing around with our time, cause it's too short. Pool water is steady shimmering. I know you gone for that swim again.
I like that. That's cool, man. That's really cool. So you taught kids how to swim.
Yes. I've had a lot of random jobs.
This is what I'm saying. You're we're all over the map. Next thing you're going to be like, and I ran for governor of Wisconsin or something like that. Coming soon. Yeah. When I'm elected. No. But how did you come to teach little kids how to swim?
It's
how little?
We're talking ages 4 months to 12 years old. So yeah, like
wow,
kids with their parents basically having to like hold them in the water.
Yeah.
Teaching the parents how to teach their kids how to swim too.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I say this at my shows too. Like, I just drop like a random job I've had. It's sometimes I don't know. I'll be on Indeed a lot.
Yeah.
Indeed has just given me a lot of.
Some people scroll Zillow, for fun, looking at houses. You're scrolling Indeed, just
like my social media.
This looks like a fun job.
Yeah.
Man.
But that's really how I found it, and also kind of how I'm a teacher now, and that's kind of how I kind of started to like teaching a little bit, and later I fell in love with teaching when I was a gardening teacher as well. But specifically at this job, I got an ear infection, which is what made me write this song. Because, as a musician too, I got an ear infection. I was like, nah. I'm done. But the last day of my job, I was kind of benched on the side because for some reason I still showed up. But I was just sitting on the side watching the water, and we had floor to ceiling glass windows. The sun was coming through, making the water blush. And I wrote the whole song sitting on the bench, just in my head. I can remember it so vividly. So yeah.
I love that. There is no, in my experience at least, there's no great music without life experience. Great life experience. Yeah. And that's what you do. That's the craft. You take something that meant something to you in the moment and you make it connect with something else in the moment. Then you put some lyrics to it, and you've got a song. So what are you hoping to achieve in the rest of 2025, 2026? What do you want to accomplish?
This year, I have some pretty lofty goals this year, I'm not going to lie, especially because the band that we just formed, Aliqua, with some of my other band members, just had, you said you heard about the Rock the Park show. That was our debut show, actually.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And we definitely have high hopes for what the rest of the year brings. We have some shows coming up. My album, finishing that is on, top of my priority list. And honestly, just performing more, being in front of people. I feel like that's the reason, probably the first reason I make music, is to have a message, to get my messages across.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what's on the rest of the 2025 calendar.
I love that. I mean, so some shows and some music that you're recording. When do you hope to have the album finished?
This summer. So yeah, Beanie Baby is dropping pretty soon.
Yeah.
This month, actually, because it's Pride Month. I have to drop it in Pride Month.
That's great.
So,
yeah.
And then the album in July or August. I don't have a release date yet for you.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I think we'll definitely have to have you and the band back on.
I would love that. They would love that.
The thing I love to secretly kind of do with this show, if I'm playing God for a second, I guess you could say, anytime a musician has to perform solo, whether it's on a stage, whether it's in front of 5 people or 5,000 people, or in a room, in a situation like this where you potentially have a gigantic audience, but you can't see any of them. Yeah. You can't connect with them,
right.
personally. It's almost kind of like a one-way energy experience, as we say. It's the hardest environment in which to perform. Absolutely the most difficult.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll say this: you've crushed it.
Thank you.
You've exceeded my expectations by a mile, 100%. And I know I actually heard about you originally through Joe DeCunto, who is the organizer of Broken Mold. Yeah. And Rock the Park. Yeah. And he actually texted me in the middle of the show a little bit ago. He was like, "Oh, you got Zane on? You got him on? Oh, man. That's awesome. Give him my best. Give him my best." So what would you say is your experience with the Tampa Bay music scene? Because you're a little bit newer to it.
Newer, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that, because I'm from here. But I think just moving back here 2 years ago kind of made me feel new.
That's what I mean.
Experiencing it as an adult.
Because it's a new,
for sure.
Since 2020, it's a whole new animal.
Yeah, so far it's been really positive. I think there's a real collaborative energy in the air between just everybody especially the music scene. I'm not sure what the other art scenes are like, but from what I know, there's no animosity between musicians. I've gotten to know a lot of the musicians that I go to their shows, and we've thankfully been on the same bills now. And it's always just been a positive rapport with them, looking forward to the next time. And also on a personal level too. Sometimes you go out and, it's kind of professional, you're a musician, I'm a musician, much love, shake hands and walk away. I've met people who are like, "Come to my house, let's jam together." You know what I'm saying? And that's what the really, really rewarding part of it is. Getting to know them.
I love it. So we're wrapping up the show here. Credit where credit is due. First, the show takes an entire team of volunteers behind the scenes to make sure that it runs as smoothly as it does. Sound mixer Mark Perfetti, audio assistant Pam Robinson, our video director is Charles Holsopple, our camera operators are Lisa Reuter, Ike Parham, and Marcy Connors. Our board op is Charlie Cushing. I'm your host, Ken Apperson. We've been here in studio with Zanzi Bean. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. This has been an amazing experience.
Do you want to take us out with maybe one more song?
I would love to. I would love to. The song's called New Sedation.
Need a new sedation, that's not Percocets or Adderall. 'Cause after all, when you climb the ladder, you don't have to fall. If when you reach the top of it, it's empty dreams and promises, and all you have to answer for is lists of your accomplishments. I need a new sedation that can cure me of complacency, 'cause I've been escapading but evading what I'm made to be. Been feeling so adjacent to my lane and to my legacy, but you could strip me naked, I'll be standing on my legs and feet. I need about a liter of some liquor for some peace of mind, 'cause I've been chewing beats up for my freedom like it's pizza time. That's why I'm always clenching, causing tension with these teeth of mine. But my jaw's hella chiseled, so at least that certain feature's nice. I need a couple dollars in my pocket for my sanity, 'cause when I need some dollars I go running to my family. Yeah, it's not fair to them, but most of all it's just not fair to me, 'cause I deserve it all, but money act like it be scared of me. And I ain't scared of it, so what's the issue? Yes, I need to know why spending is so easy, but to make it back is difficult. And lately what's been broken in my bank account ain't fixable, but one day I'ma make it back with interest on principal. And
like it. I like that melody too. That's gorgeous. That's really gorgeous. All right. So this is the end of the show. If you're still watching, thanks so much for watching. As promised, I'll share the AMA questions, comments with you. The very first one that we got came through before we even did the AMA, which was really cool. Thank you for the show today. Truly an exceptional Juan, spelled Juan. Among all the great shows on WMNF. Your desk today is phenomenal and such an inspiration. That's Ted in Eifers. So
Wow.
thanks, Ted. Appreciate that.
It means a lot. Yeah.
Pretty nice. And then one literally just came through. Let's see. He connected. Great stuff. Kurt and Bradenton. So that's nice.
Thank you, Kurt.
Very short,
Yeah.
to the point,
Hey,
like
I
that.
appreciate anything.
And then we have some comments in the live stream as well. This one's got a Frank Ocean vibe. I like it.
They just saying that because of the hair. No, I appreciate it, though. Yeah.
Let's see. Zanzi Bean just may have given us the best definition of an artist. Bet he can answer philosopher's age-old question, what is art?
Can I answer that question?
Yeah, feel free if you want.
Wow.
If you want to take a swing at
No,
it.
I was asking myself if I can answer that. What is art? Art is purely expression. I always say the difference between something being art, like, I don't know, I could have a lamp, right? And if it's just a lamp that I just make to shine light, then it's just a lamp. But I've seen some lamps that have a cool shape to it. Like I saw this flower-shaped lamp. Whoever made that lamp is an artist because they felt the need to express something. So I think art at its rawest form is expression, and it can be done through any medium and in any way. There's no limit to what art can be.
So it's more like what isn't art.
Right. Art,
I like it. That's good. That's good. All right. Let's see here. Switched from my car to computer because I had to hear this whole episode. So that's nice. What a great artist and interview. Art is at its penultimate best when the message happens. Yaman, one love.
Agreed.
Like that.
Yeah.
The Bug song is the Bug song is great, both lyrics and the piano. And then let's see. Tina says, "There it is. If they got together, they could. Us all, Yaman. We got to get together. Dear kindred spirits, just like he says." Wow. Yeah. So let's see. And then David Bryant, friend of the show. Feel free to dive into this if you want to or not. He says, for AMA, what does your guest think about Trump's immigration policy towards Haiti and Cuba? It's up to you. You don't have to dive in if you don't want to, but
I'm not going to dive into that specifically. I do want to say free Haiti. I just want to say Haiti has gotten the end of the stick, the short end of the stick on a lot of stuff. Haitian culture is so beautiful, and I love all my Zoes. That's all I'll say about that. I love Haiti. They deserve reparations, period.
Love it. Love it. And then Tina again says, wow, 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 Zanzi Bean is great. Yeah. So, yeah, lots of positive feedback there from the audience. We'll definitely have to have you back on the show. Thank you so much for coming in and being on the show today.
Thank you all. I really do appreciate all of you. This has been an amazing experience.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And whether you're learning how to play the piano or you're learning how to have a polyamorous relationship, go practice. We'll see you next week. Thanks a lot.